In America, there is always something being debated. From alternative energy to animal testing, there's always something to take a side on and argue about. But what's the deal with abortion? It's a pretty complicated and controversial debate. But why? Let's break it down. Technically, abortion is defined as the deliberate termination of a human pregnancy. And the question is this moral? The argument for or against abortion is based largely on how you define the fetus. A common argument for abortion is that a fetus is not a human life. However, from a scientific and a biological standpoint, this isn't quite accurate. For something to be considered biologically alive, it must be composed of one or more cells, undergo metabolism, maintain homeostasis, grow, have the ability to respond to stimuli, have the potential to reproduce, and, when taken as a species, evolve over time. Therefore, the fetus is alive from a scientific standpoint, even at a very early development stage. In order to be considered human, one must be a member of the species Homo sapiens. The fetus has to be human because it was created by two Homo sapien parents. So, from a scientific and genetic standpoint, the fetus is a human life. However, many believe that this doesn't matter and that the desires and the ability for the woman to control her own body is more important. So the question is, what exactly is the value of the human life of the fetus? This is something usually not determined by the state or by society, but actually by the mother herself and the circumstances surrounding her pregnancy. When a woman is ready and wants to become pregnant, the fetus is considered incredibly valuable, and its miscarriage or loss is something extremely sad. However, when a woman is not ready to be a mother, does not want another child, or feels she cannot take care of a baby, it is then that the fetus's value is called into question. Since pregnancy and motherhood affects a woman's life so drastically and directly, saying that she should have the ability to decide if she wants children and when is a reasonable statement. However, deciding when and if you want children or when you're ready to be a mother does not have a lot to do with abortion itself. Even if a woman did not have access to abortion, that doesn't mean she can't make choices regarding her reproductive freedoms. Abortion is often debated as if it was a black and white issue. However, many real-life cases involving abortion fall into a rather large gray area. Often this pertains to a threat to the health of the mother or to the child. One serious medical complication of pregnancy is a condition called an ectopic pregnancy. An ectopic pregnancy occurs when a fertilized egg attaches itself somewhere other than the uterus, often in the fallopian tube or the cervix. The fetus cannot grow to term if it is anywhere but the uterus, and, in fact, the fetus growing any more in the case of an ectopic pregnancy could result in the death of the mother. Another potentially fatal complication of pregnancy is a condition called eclampsia and its predecessor, preeclampsia. Essentially, because she is carrying the fetus, the mother's kidneys shut down. This causes seizures, coma, or even death. Once the mother has reached the stages of full eclampsia, the only treatment is to deliver the baby as soon as possible. However, if the fetus is not yet developed enough to survive outside of the uterus, there is not much that can be done. Aside from the so-called medically necessary abortions, many argue that abortion must be kept legal, as victims of rape deserve to have access to it and must not be forced to carry the baby of their attacker. However, a fetus conceived by rape, although the circumstances surrounding its conception are terrible, is not any less valuable. And in a 2004 study titled "Reasons U.S. Women Have Abortions: Quantitative and Qualitative Perspectives," found that only 1% of women who had abortions cited rape as their reason for aborting. The most common reasons cited were that having a child would interfere with the woman's education, work, or ability to care for dependents, that she could not afford a baby now, or that she did not want to be a single mother or was having relationship problems. 4 in 10 women that participated in the study said that they had completed their childbearing, and almost 1/3 had said that they were not ready to have a child. The Catholic Church's official stance on abortion can be found in the Catechism. It states that a human life must be respected and protected absolutely from the moment of conception, and, since it must be treated from conception as a person, the embryo must be defended in its integrity, cared for, and healed as far as possible like any other human being. So in the end, when it comes to abortion, the fetus is a person and deserves to be treated and cared for as such. And though there are some extremely complicated and morally gray area situations, when it comes to a perfectly healthy mother aborting a healthy fetus, it's simply immoral.